What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Content is Profit. For those listening us live, happy holidays. I hope you're having an incredible break if you're on a break, and I hope that you're having an incredible productive week if you are working on this break like we are. Don't tell anybody, but I literally told no one that I'm working, that I've closed the studio, so that way I'm left in peace to get ahead of the year. So don't tell anybody. That's our secret. But today I wanted to come here because, well, first of all, I'm excited. I'm extremely grateful. The holidays are coming. We're very fortunate to have our family around us, but I'm very grateful for you for this incredible year. And I think like the next episodes, you'll be hearing me say a lot of that. The grateful feeling is one of the things that we do every single morning with our team. Every time we go up on a production team meeting, all the things that we do is we tell and we ask every single one, what are we grateful for? And everybody goes in circle on the Zoom call, Slack call, and we all say, what are we grateful for? So probably these next 2 days, for some reason, at the end of the year, we're always more grateful than the rest of the year. But I want to challenge you to, if you're having those end of year meetings with your family, with your teams, go ahead and ask, each one of them, just explain to them, I'm grateful for XYZ. And then you pass the ball, you nominate somebody else. So that's a little practice that we do on our calls every single day. And it's funny because every single time that we introduce this to like new team members or new teams that we work with, like this is a non-negotiable. We got to do it. And it sets the energy, in the right way. And the reason I mentioned this is because that is one of the things that make us, like unapologetically, it makes us us. And there's a time where just trying something different because we felt it was good, because it aligned with who we are. Maybe we would not do it, or we wouldn't create a certain type of content in a certain way because we thought it was not going to land the right way, and we were not being ourselves, and it wasn't landed because it wasn't ourselves. There was a time where we were in that spot. And I think a lot of people that are listening to the show or trying to build their own businesses, they might feel a similar way when it comes to not just the content, but the content. Like, how can I actually be myself and put my message out there the way I wanted to put it, right? Obviously backed by data, make your decisions backed by data. But at the end of the day, it's like, how do we enjoy creating? And to me, a big element has been just being me. Like the moments we start creating by being ourselves, by maybe not reading from a script, or maybe having a script and ignoring the script completely, makes the creation process a lot better, and it makes the business a lot better. So actually, I had this incredible coach, huge shout out to Bart Miller. We had a conversation last week, and he's been around for a long time with me. He's seen our progress. He's helped us grow. I'm on an accountability call every single morning with them, where I tell him, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I did it. I did not do it. Why did I do it? Why didn't I do it? And that group is incredible. They hold me accountable every single morning. And we had a call, like one of those like very, very tough, incredible conversations. And he goes, hey, Luis, I've seen you invest in this person, in this other person, in this program, this other program, blah, blah, blah. And, with the amount of money and the amount of information that we have, I personally feel like we should be way ahead. At the end of the day, it's about execution. And we could have all the information in the world, all the YouTube videos in the world, and we've invested way, like a ton of money, well into the six figures, into coaching and self-development and learning and all these tools and tactics and blah, 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 all these things. And for some reason, we hit a couple of speed bumps this year. And at the end of the conversation, I'm not going to bore you with the whole life story on this, but at the end of the conversation, the reflection was, trust your gut, be you. And he left me with an incredible exercise, which was he primed the exercise. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because we're still in the experiment, but it's like, how did people call you when you were growing up? Your team members, your soccer team members, your friends, how did they call you? And I realized that nobody calls me that name here in my new life in the United States. And it was an incredible connection to make. So we're in the middle of an exercise, I'll tell you later. But with that said, that triggered being super aware of me. Who is Luis? Who's Luisda? Who's like the guy that's positive? Who's the guy that, puts up a camera in the middle of the studio and start recording off the cuff type guy? Like, who's that? Who's, versus the other guy that's uptight, that's stressed, that's like worry. Like, how do we identify? How are we super aware? All this to say that maybe that's probably the reason that a lot of us feel sometimes in a limbo. It's like we're trying to be somebody else. We're not 100% ourselves, right? Maybe like how do we actually know? Like, those are the questions that I had. It's like, how do we know that it's just not me? Like, maybe we've been in that state for so long and we don't feel excited anymore. Like, we feel like in this rut. Is this rut the constant now? I remember having a soccer coach right after college. We're doing this training program, and one of the guys in my team was like, "Oh man, it's just because we're so tired. The practices are 8 p.m." And the coach looks at him and he's like, "Man, just get used to it, man. Being tired is going to be your natural state moving forward. Like, that's gonna be how you feel forever." Because the guy was just being a dad, and he probably wasn't sleeping. And to me, like, that was like, holy crap, like, am I gonna feel tired for the rest of my life? And the way I relate that to today is like, is this person that I am to, like, this is my me, like, this is my constant. And sometimes we do it for so long that we don't recognize it. And we don't know how to change, how to trigger that change to be unapologetically us. And this exercise the other day made it for me. And it's been so useful for the business side. It's been so useful for the content side. I've been able to create differently. I've been able to tackle these episodes a little bit different. I've been able to tackle my sales goals different. I've been able to attract the people that I want to work with, that I was like, oh man, this is my ideal client, scientific thing. It's like, it's more than that, it's energy, right? So by being you, by being unapologetically you, where it's like, you want to wear a green hoodie, wear your freaking green hoodie, right? Do you want to be less professional? Be less professional. Do you want to write outside of the copywriting rules? Write outside of the copywriting rules. There might be some consequences, but you're going to go execute, right? And all with that, as soon as we start executing, of course, we need to collect feedback. So one of the questions here is like, should we receive feedback from others? That's a maybe question. Like, who should we take feedback from? Right? It's almost like I remember when I was starting entrepreneurship or starting the business, I'll tell people in my family, which, by the way, they're not entrepreneurs. We've never been big entrepreneurs in our family. My mom worked as a college professor. My dad worked in the oil industry. And we will share certain things of the business. And because they love us, they will share some feedback. And they will be like, why don't you try this? And for the longest time, we will try to listen and execute based on that until we were in an event and be like, if you want to make $10 million bucks, and this person has never made the $10 million, why are we asking those questions when we're trying to get to the $10 million, right? It's almost like if you're playing soccer and you want to know if you're shooting the right way, you're not going to go ask a basketball player, how do I shoot? So that's another question that we should be asking. Like, who should we be taking feedback from on our content, on our business, right? Like, so interesting, right? Going through my notes here, I went on a little side rant on being unapologetically, because I like the reason I'm talking a little bit more passionate about this today is because I've seen the other side. I've seen I've started to recognize patterns where I was walking into rooms and maybe I was a little slouch. Maybe I was a little, looking down, and just being aware of that moment where you're like lifting your chest, take a deep breath, look around. I started telling people, call me this other name instead of just Luis. Call me this. So, but that's what my friends call me. And now in the morning in the coffee shop, every time I go there, these people are like welcoming me with this new name, and they shout it out. They laugh. We laugh. The energy is different, man. And the day has been so much productive. It's been so good, right? So that's why be careful. Once you start being yourself, who do you ask feedback from? Because they might not like that new person that you are becoming. They might not like the content that you're creating because they might not understand where you're going. They might not share their same vision, right? Like, have they done it before, actually? Right? I remember a highly personal story here where me and my cousin, we launched a podcast in Spanish. It's been a little bit on a pause with the holidays. But, we started speaking very colloquial Spanish, to say the least, right? Like there's some bad words that come out here and there. There's no filters, and they're funny topics. It's just us being cousins, just chatting it up about topics in our life and what's happening, right? And I remember sending this to our family, and the older people in our family were very Hispanics, we're Venezuelans, right? Just saying bad words is not a thing that we would do at home. Like I remember still, like to this day, I'm a 36-year-old dude, and if my dad is around and I'm about to say a bad word in Spanish, I flinched a little bit. It's like, that's how traumatic this thing was when growing up, right? We could not say bad words. So anyways, in this show, we decided to be like, okay, we are going to be ourselves. We're just going to, chat it up. If somebody listens, awesome. If somebody, watches, great. But we're just doing it for ourselves to have a good time, right? And I remember my family, after a few of them, after listening to the whole thing, they sent us this letter on feedback on how to do an episode of podcasting. After, we've been doing this for 600 plus episodes. They know that, right? Like our show has ranked thanks to you in like top 10 charts all over the world, which is incredible. I really appreciate it. But they're sending us feedback on how to do it, how to speak properly, and how to do this thing. And my first question was like, have any of you published a podcast before? Has any of you put out your message out there, right? Like, we need to start looking, it's like, how does that feedback make me feel, like, so we can get better too? But like, I was asking those questions, and this is going to happen to you as soon as you start putting content out on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you put the content, this is going to start happening to you, because people that don't understand, they might be coming at you. And what I don't want to happen is for this to create doubt. If it feels good inside of you, you should go put it out. You should go put it out and see what the feedback is, as far as like, is this attracting the right people in my world? So like, there's going to be good feedback. There's going to be bad feedback, but don't let it create doubt on what you're creating, because you're like, oh, I should not do format A, call it Instagram Reel. I should do podcasting because Luis tells me to do podcasting. Maybe. Do you actually enjoy doing it? Like, does it align with who you are? I love long conversations. That's what we love podcasting. You try to get me to say a scripted, like 1 minute video. Not going to happen. Can I wing it? Absolutely. Is it the best way? I don't know. It's the best way for me because it gets out. That's my win, that the content goes out, right? By the way, go to my Instagram, Lisa Creates. You're going to see some of those experiment videos we've been posting, right? But, how am I going to respond to that feedback? Follow your gut. So cool. Here's something that I saw in a video with Leila Hormozi, which triggered this whole topic. Other people's opinions reflect more on them than me. Man, we're both right. Like, that person is right under their point of view. I'm right under my point of view, or you're right under your point of view, right? And at the end of the day, who are we creating for? Like, who are we putting this video for? For our audience, for the people that we help, for the people that are going through the same pains, the same problems. Maybe, we're a little ahead and we want to help out. Some people are going to say, yeah, we agree with that. And some people are going to be like, no. But try to look for that little light of the people that agree and that, give you that reinforcement, that excite you to continue talking about these things, and commit to being unapologetically you. I couldn't pick an easier word to say in English. So all this takes practice and time. I've been just ranting on. I decided to do a rant episode today, but it does take practice. I mean, I could not do this maybe 3 years ago where, we go back and forth, or a simple example is like, maybe I had an idea of an episode and we had so many stories out there and, so much inspiration that I go, or that I feel comfortable doing it this way. Before it was like, oh, I need the perfect script, or I need this. I'm sure this is going to help somebody. And if you're listening still, thank you so much. All I'm trying to say is that I'm demonstrating this is me, this is my energy, and I want to put it out there. And there's going to be people that are going to agree with it. There's going to be people that might have tuned out already to the episode, but we're still putting it out. I think there's a valuable lesson here. So what's your format? How are you going to do it? We've seen a lot of people, and we've supported a lot of people on the newsletter side, on the YouTube side, and new things are scary. So if you can find and try to find a community that can support you, so good. Anyways, that was my today rant. I'm about to go. I have to go pick up my kiddos to go to the zoo. There's some awesome lights and events that's happening there. But yeah, I've just had that call. I might share a little bit of that, experiment later down the road. But so far it's been great. I even told my wife to call me that, and she was like, absolutely not. And we just started laughing like crazy. But all this to say, follow your gut. If you are prone to grab a camera or your phone, or especially in this environment of creation, right? Go do the type of content that you want to create. And then if you have a goal, is that helping you get that goal? And if the answer is yes, awesome, keep doing that. If the answer is no, then you might have to find something else. Or you have another choice too, keep pushing, doing the thing that you do, right? At the end of the day, we're the ones that make that decision. All I'm saying is there's a world where you can collect the data and be super tactical. But if you sprinkle on top a little bit of you, that's what's going to make your content, your message, and your business so unique. And you're going to attract the people that you like to work with. So all this to say, that's the secret recipe to find your dream customer. There you go. All right, guys, happy holidays. If you're listening to this before Christmas, Merry Christmas. If after, I hope you're having an incredible break. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.